This is Britton Hess. This is a full 18-round draft in Underdog Fantasy best ball for this NFL season. This is the Sprint $50 entry, $1 million prize pool, $100K for first. If you're new to Underdog Fantasy, sign up with promo code DAILYDOG. That's DAILYDOG, one word, at underdogfantasy.com or on the Underdog Fantasy app. And you know what? If you put $100 on the app, you get 50 for free. Use that $50 on a entry to the Sprint. It's a good way to get into some high stakes, high variance fantasy football without having to break the bank. All right, let's get into it. Hello, this is Britton Hess from SGPN's The Daily Dog. I'm doing a live draft on the Sprint on Underdog Fantasy. This is a best ball tournament that 22,500 people are going to be a part of when all is said and done. Right now, there's a nice big overlay. You can see it on your screen right now. There are 13,344 people so far entered in this tournament. $1 million prize pool, 100K for first. This is a very fun format. Basically, you're in a group of 12. You draft against 11 other people for your best ball fantasy roster. Weeks 1 through 14, the top two advance to the final, which is the weeks 15 through 17, 3 weeks. You start with a fresh slate, same team, but you try to score the most points in weeks 15 through 17. So drafting for this type of tournament is unique, right? Because you need to draft a team that you know is going to get in the top two of your group of 12, and then you also need to have some focus on your team with guys that you think are going to be peaking late in the season in weeks through 15 through 17. So you're putting up points there if you want that chance of 100K in your account off of a $50 entry fee. If you've never played best ball before, I highly recommend it. It is basically my favorite way of playing season-long fantasy. Home leagues and all that stuff are not as fun anymore just because the time suck of setting your lineup and hitting the waiver wire and all that stuff. In best ball, you choose your team right now, you draft it early in the season, and then you roll with it. You know, you're stuck with it for better or for worse. So you have to try to, one, avoid buys. You know, stacking buys is bad because you don't necessarily have the ability to get a weekly QB starter, right? So the 2 or 3 quarterbacks you draft for your best ball team are who you're going to be rolling with until the very end. I should also say that there's going to be 3,700 people paid in this contest. The last 1,700 just get their money back, and this is out of 22,200, so that's about 16-17% of the field is going to get paid with a 9.9% rake. So definitely high upside, high variance, hard to cash this. It's hard enough to finish top 2 in your league and then peak at the end. But again, this is why you play fantasy. You know what? A lot of you guys are probably putting $50 down in your home league and you don't have a shot of winning that one either. So maybe you want to get involved in something bigger like this and have a shot at making some big money. All right, I'm just going to check how many more people are waiting for. 3 more people before this draft can get underway. So I'll get back into the rules here. So you don't have a weekly matchup. You just accumulate points each week. Each week you will have 1 quarterback starter, 2 running back starters, 3 wide receiver starters, 1 flex, and 1 tight end, and then you got a 10-man bench. So you basically want to, one, make sure that you have people that are going to give you a high floor, you know, that you're going to get some points guaranteed each week. But with best ball, Underdog automatically gives you credit for your highest scoring players each week, so you don't have to set the lineup, right? So if you've got, you know, a guy like, let's just say you have A.D. Mitchell and he's on your bench and he has a 40-point week, well, unless you have 3 other wide receivers that scored more than 40 points, he's going to be in your starting lineup that week, and his points are going to count for you no matter what. Same with quarterbacks. So again, this type of league is definitely about mixing ceilings. You want to make sure that you're not going to have any dead spots where, like, you know, we've got 4 wide receivers on bye and the guys that you have available are just high upside guys that don't have much volume. But it looks like our draft is getting underway here. And I also should say this is a guaranteed prize pool. So if this thing doesn't fill, there is a good shot that this thing could have an overlay, which is a great way to get some plus EV in fantasy football. What pick could I get? At the 4th pick, that should be Jamar Chase, but at the same time, I don't know. I mean, we'll see what these people do. We only got 30 seconds till this draft starts, so it's gonna get underway. Let me just double check my list. 3 seconds until the league goes. by average ADP, I'm going to be getting Jamar Chase. I kind of lean to him over Amon-Ra St. Brown. That's a tough one. We'll see how this breaks. I mean, I'd be very surprised if it goes full chalk for these top three right here. Some people actually have been foregoing the running back. Yep, see, CeeDee Lamb went first overall. Christian McCaffrey is available at 2. Tyreek Hill, Jamar Chase. I like my options here. The problem is, so drafting 4 is good, obviously, but the problem is that it's going to be a long time before I get a second pick. I'm thinking that I'm going to go wide receiver here, and then I will come back with a running back potentially in the next round. I'm taking Tyreek because this guy reached a little bit on Amon-Ra St. Brown. I know that Tyreek is old, but again, this is best ball. I don't necessarily need him starting every week, but his good games are so good, it goes a long way towards accumulating a lot of points because, as I said, this type of draft is an accumulator. All right, let's see how long this draft is going to take. Only 30 seconds per pick. Hopefully people are ready to roll. My next pick is going to be 2-9, which should be pick number 21-ish. So let me see who's it? 21 by ADP. Should be getting around Cooper Kupp, Devontae Adams. I mean, if I have one of these running backs, if Saquon Barkley or Devon Achane is available, I might be tempted to take them because I'm going to still get another stud wide receiver 2 in that range. Basically, I'll be happy with a lot of these guys you're seeing available on the screen right now. So no harm there. Again, let's see. What do we got? Bijan, Breece Hall went ahead of Bijan. Okay, pretty normal. Jamar, Jordan Jefferson. Again, Amon-Ra St. Brown. So the thing is that there's 22,000 people in this league. I think if you just draft straight chalk, you're probably not going to get too far in this thing, and just because there's so many players and there's going to be a lot of people with very similar scores to you. So you need to find ways to separate from the pack. And again, that for me, that's mostly going to be coming in later rounds, targeting some guys in new places that I think could develop into a role at that squad or at their new team. Rookies that I think are going to get higher targets, higher carries later in the season once they're a little bit more comfortable playing at this level. Because again, that's what's so unique about this format. We've got to, one, draft to get the top 2 in our league or in this group of 12 teams that I'm drafting against right now. And 2, we've got to try to win in weeks 15 through 17. So we definitely got to target some guys that have good matchups in that scenario. Sorry, I'm just checking some stuff. And let's see, we're at 2-4, so we still got a couple picks. Who's going? All right, running backs, Saquon went ahead of Jahmyr Gibbs. Interesting. If I can get, no, I can't get Gibbs. Yeah, so they're getting a little bit running back hungry early here. Again, this format definitely leads itself to having some of that. If I could get Achane, I think I'm going to take him, but we'll see what these people do because I'm still 4 picks ahead of me. But right now, Achane is who I want. And if I don't get Achane, God, it sucks, but I kind of think I'll take Drake London, although I'm not as high on him as some other people. I just love that he's got a really defined role and a quarterback that can presumably get it to him. Oh, there goes Drake. Waddell's gone. Puka's gone. Again, he's okay. One more. All right, if I can get Achane here, I'm going to be happy with this team so far. I need to move this a little bit. All right, yeah, let's get Achane. Come on. What are you doing? You got 8 seconds. Wow, whoa. This guy went all tight end. He's really breaking it up. All right, I'm taking Achane. Again, it sucks having 2 Dolphins, but they're both such high ceiling guys, and I'm going to have 5 more wide receivers, 4 more running backs, something like that. So I can definitely cover some of these buys. And again, their buys are early, so that means as long as health prevails, I will have these guys in weeks 15 through 17. All right, I'm up in 4 picks. Who do we think is going to be here? I mean, shit. I wouldn't take Neighbors here. I can't take Neighbors because of his quarterback. I would not take him early in the 3rd round. That is for sure. That is kind of how you differentiate a little bit. But again, I don't know, man. And then like Kyron Williams, that could be kind of cool just to kind of get ahead of the running back steam that we're going to get later on. But the problem is that he's got another week 6 bye. It's kind of putting a lot of pressure on some guys to come up later for me. All right, they're kind of getting wide receiver heavy here. I'm just going down. I think my wide receiver 2, who do I want? Do I want wide receiver 2, running back 2? Getting 2 really good running backs this early will differentiate my team, I do believe. There's just so much stuff to happen. Yeah, like who has... Nobody's gone 2 running backs, at least in our group yet. So I just really need to... If I take a running back here, I'm putting so much pressure on my team to... I'm putting so much pressure on my team to get some of these later wide receivers that are going to perform. Again, this is a format that lends itself to differentiating from the pack. So this guy, Baker, I would be very surprised if he doesn't take a running back here. Because again, Henry and Kyron are both really... Wow. So he went 3 wide receivers in his first 3 picks. All right, what do I do? Do I take some of these guys? I mean, what am I going to do in, 48 picks? Okay, all right, I've got a plan here. This is insane, but having my top 2 running backs in the potential weeks 15 through 17 final stage of this contest is a really big value, I think. Kyron Williams, stay healthy, my man. Devin Achin, stay healthy, my man. So that's kind of another way I'm just differentiating, is that I've targeted some guys that are really high upside, really high injury risk. That kind of is probably why their value is a little bit down right now. But at this point, I think that I'm going to be going wide receiver for probably the next 3 picks. Quarterback, I get the advantages of getting a Josh Allen, a Jalen Hurts, a Patrick Mahomes for floor reasons in this format. But in this format, you need to score so many points. Quarterbacks can have smash days where they just carry your whole team. I think that I'm going to be one of the later guys to take a quarterback in this league because... again, I get Josh Allen. Josh Allen has some good matchups in that final stage of this tournament. But again, he's not going to be there when I draft. Most likely, that's one thing. And 2, I just really need to pick up some pieces of the wide receivers, and I can avoid kind of the dead zone of running backs that's coming up. That said, I also like Josh Jacobs more than the market. That's basically it. Alvin Kamara's okay, but I could honestly probably get him in round 5, potentially, depending on what these people do. Look, at the quarterbacks are already going. They're targeting, so like I said, Josh Allen has some good matchups in that final stage. Lamar Jackson also has some decent spots in weeks 16 and 17. I think he's buying one of those weeks. But let's see. Metcalf goes, again, I don't know, man. Metcalf is not worth the hype. Let's see. Etienne goes again. So I'm liking my running back room. Oh, Jesus. They need to stay healthy. This is tough. George Pickens goes. Rashee Rice goes. All right. So I know who I want. All right. So yeah, that guy's not going to be there. I don't want him. I'll order these in a second, but I'm just putting in the wide receivers that I actually have some excitement about. Oh no, I don't really freaking care about Kyle Pitts right now, but whatever. Roma Dunze. Oh man, if one of these is my wide receiver, that's kind of shitty. All right, Pittman. Do I really want to do this? Let's see. Tight ends are going. Tank again. Do I trust him to be the guy? What's his ceiling? What's his buy 14? Buy 14, buy 6. I need to, I always buy 6. Okay. Thing is, I'm not going to have to wait that long, so I'm going to be able to probably get a little 2-pack of QB. All right, this could be sneaky, something that happens right here. This could be very sneaky. Okay, I'm on the clock. All right, I'm going to try something that is a little bit insane. I'm drafting Mahomes, and you'll see why, hopefully, very soon. And this is a very, very high variance play that I might be pulling right here. If you're looking at the guys I have starred, you might know why. Look at this. This whole freaking team is week 6. So this is going to be a very unique roster. Again, you need to have a unique roster in this format. Okay, frick. That was also an option. All right, please make this easy on me. Please make this easy on me. Because I also like him. But I need to get that stack. I'm addicted to the stack. Ugh. Again, this is a very high variance play that I'm about to pull off right here. I really like in a vacuum, I like Terry. Like if you're playing in your home league, I definitely like Terry more than Xavier Worthy. But this stack value is something that I do not want to miss here. Big games late in the season. This is how we do it. Oh, God. So everybody is week 6 bye. Fucking week 6 is going to be a bloodbath. I really need everyone to perform. I need everyone to stay healthy. Where are we? We got a little wait. The tight ends are running. My God. This is this right here, if you're following my cursor, is kind of a nightmare, and I'm going to move myself over here so that I'm not blocking my team. This is a little bit of a nightmare. This week 6 scenario is a nightmare. These guys are just all boom or bust, not really with Tyreek Hill, but I'm expecting a lot out of Xavier Worthy. Just the value of getting 10 points per touchdown pass from Patrick Mahomes or Worthy is very big to get that stack lined up. And again, you expect Mahomes to have some good games throughout the season. I'm just not loving where I'm at. I'm just not loving where I'm at from a depth perspective. I need to just keep on firing on wide receivers for a little while here. Maybe a tight end. Jeez, I hate tight ends in this format. I really do. But what are we going to do? We're still coming up in several picks. 10 picks till we're up. 10 picks while we're up. And let's get one of these guys. I do like these wide receivers. I kind of, Jaden Reed's another ceiling guy. Now that could be real salty. But again, I'm like getting this hair in my mind that's like, oh, you know what I should do? I should just take another quarterback and really screw someone over. But at the same time, I need people to be scoring at the same time right now. So depth is not really an option at this point. Rome goes fat Keenan Allen, guy who gained a lot of weight. There's some stuff to be excited about with Chris Godwin this year. He's going to be playing a lot more out of the slot this season than he did last year. Brian Thomas, another wide receiver, I am excited about. Again, I'm putting all these guys here just so I don't forget them. I also don't hate Kamara. Montgomery is a TD dependent guy usually, so that's a little bit high variance for me, and he would basically just be a flex on a game where he gets 3 touchdowns. Yeah, I need to get more of these wideouts. Okay. Where do I put these guys? I actually have to put Brian Thomas up just through the upside. Keenan Allen is just floor material, probably where I'm thinking about these wide receivers right now. Deontay, no thank you. Christian Watson, if he's healthy, there's not too many better. And these, we're just kind of in this range of running backs where I'm just not all that excited. Ramondre Stevenson, okay. This is crazy, man. This is pick number 69, right about ADP. I don't hate it. All right, we're drafting him. Another rookie wide receiver. So we need to get some Justin Jefferson-style rookie seasons in here, Stephon Diggs-style rookie seasons in here. And then I could be talked into one of these tight ends here, especially if Kittle is around. I will take him. He's just like a low volume, super efficient tight end, which makes things a little bit more difficult when scoring. But the Issue is who just went? All right, Reed. I took Thomas. Kittle goes. Do I? God, all right. Yeah, no, I know. If he's available at my spot, I'm taking Evan Ingram. If he's available. That is TBD. Okay, King goes. There's all these running backs are getting a little under repped here. We're at pick number 75 and beaten ADP on all these guys. Ooh. As a flex, who's going to be more value to me? Do I need my? Yeah, no, I can't. I gotta get Ingram. Just the way that this is structured. No, well, we definitely don't want James Conner. All right, Ingram is my tight end 1, but he is a viable threat. Again, it's kind of crappy that he's sharing targets with Brian Thomas, but hopefully their roles are significantly different enough that it doesn't bite me too much. Again, you just need to have a lot of faith in that passing game. There is a world where I can do some kind of crazy stuff. Also down the line, just want to see what there says. Missing another practice. Dang, poor Hollywood Brown. Hopefully he can recover. Just trying to get ahead of what we're going to be doing later. All right. Keon Coleman, Ladd McConkey, a lot of these rookie wide receivers. Not all these rookie wide receivers are going to hit at the rate that they're being drafted at. And I mean, look at me. I got 2 of them right here. So who am I to point fingers? That said, it's kind of crazy how valuable people treat these rookie wide receivers when there's a lot of questions there. Hopefully Mahomes has a record-setting season. That's what I'll say here. Again, I'm going to keep on punting on running backs for a little bit. All these people are playing catch-up. I actually have some thoughts coming up in the running back department, but again, I got to go wide receiver. Oh, this is kind of disgusting, but I'm gonna do it. I think if I get the chance, I'm gonna do something kind of disgusting. Oh, these people are slowing down a little bit. Come on, hurry up, guys, get some picks. All right, that makes it easier. Then I'm not gonna do that. Wow, they're interesting, man. These people are really leaning into it. Taking Chase Brown right there, who I thought was already a little banged up. Wow, things are going to get nasty for me in a second if this breaks the way I expect it to. Hey, Nuke Hopkins, expected to be ready for week 1. I thought he was dead. I really like that. I can't believe Calvin Ridley's still going ahead of Hopkins. Obviously, he's over that age bump. That scares a lot of people. Okay. Let me see something here. We're gonna do something freaking crazy if I get the chance. If I get the chance, things are going to get absurd. Again, this roster is a little bit has a lot to do with the format, as I said. Need to get in the top 2 in the first 12 weeks to cash and get at least my money back. But the things, did he take what I wanted? Okay. Damn. That kind of messes me up a little bit. Do we have... All right, this is going to probably annoy some people, but I think Zamir White actually is going to be fine. He's going to have a massive workload, so he can be a flex and a pretty regular floor flex that I just have available every week. And then again, I just got to keep on going for these home run threats at wide receiver. I was actually going to try to take Hollywood Brown to have another link with Patrick Mahomes here and then come back and take Trevor Lawrence as my other quarterback. So I just have the double stack going throughout the entire season. It's a little bit, obviously, it's a little bit high variance there. But we will see. You know, I'm going to be back up. What are we doing wide receiver-wise? I really don't like Cortland Sutton. I don't love the volume passing game that's going to be happening out here. But I think Palmer's a pretty good player. Of these wideouts, because I'm just drafting wideouts at a time when no one else is. They were all kind of loading. I am going to be taking a wide receiver here in all likelihood. And it's likely going to be Khalil Shakir. Again, it's just like I'm getting such bad buy planning. It's stupid. The second pick for me of these wide receivers is going to be Cortland Sutton. Oh, man. Can I afford to have the double buy here as well? I think so. It just means that my last two wide receivers have to be exactly who I want them to be. So let's go with... We're going with the home run hitter, another one, Khalil Shakir. This roster seriously looks like if you were in a weekly, or a normal home league where you have to set your roster every week, this lineup would be a nightmare. Right now, I'm just going with home run threats and hoping that I get a couple hits every single week in this wide receiver room. I have basically no volume wide receivers here. Tyreek Hill is obviously a big play / volume. But these other guys are likely going to be relying on big plays, and Thomas is likely going to be relying on touchdowns. So please be good. It's a sneaky, it's a fast team. You don't want to take us on in a track meet, but I don't necessarily love what we're doing here. Joe Burrow goes. Let's see, where are we? Man, when did Trevor go? Okay, he went right after me. That's fine. Because I did want that double little stack action. But there is another option. Everyone's got at least one QB. If I can get... this is, again, people are going to hate what I'm about to do here. I mean, I'm definitely not opposed to taking Tua at my next spot here. Because, again, the name of the game is a lot of points each week, and having A-Chain, who's obviously a receiving threat and a big running back threat, and also Tyreek Hill with Tua, that helps you double up on points when they're scored by this Dolphins team, which is going to score a lot of points this year. They just do that. They have a really well-designed system. See, look at this guy. I'm definitely happy I didn't wait on these running backs. Committee, backup committee, kind of committee, but he's not really an explosive player, which, again, I guess if you're looking for floor, I'm hoping that all three of these running backs maintain a dominant role throughout the course of the season. If they do, I'm going to be in a great spot, but I really do need to just keep on pounding the wide receiver drum here. I said I might look at Tua, probably not in round 10, maybe round 11. That might make a little bit more sense here because I am going to need another wide receiver, and I have a couple more big play options. So obviously I'm looking at these three guys that are not really Jacoby. Just kidding. I was looking at Lockett for a little floor, and then Tua's already gone, so that's kind of a problem. This guy just took that plan away. That's actually a little bit ahead of ADP. A little surprise there. So wide receivers, again, I'm just going. Every one of these guys is a big play threat. So they're all there. Oh, God, I forgot. I didn't see. I thought it was 13. Oh, man. I'm in trouble with buys and wide receivers. So I definitely have to be done with week 12 buys for this team because we are going to have so few options, and injuries could really hurt me there. All right, so there's 18 players drafted. You have to start 3 wide receivers, a flex, 2 running backs, and a quarterback, 1 quarterback. I probably want to have 3 quarterbacks for a format like this because you just need to have someone scoring points throughout. If you make it to week 15 and you're already down 1 quarterback and then your second guy gets banged up and you're getting 0 points and the rest of your roster is succeeding, you're going to hate yourself. That said, that extra spot, getting even more wide receivers, especially for me with this current construction, is going to be important. So I guess I'm not totally committed to going to 3 quarterbacks right now. I might go 3. We'll see how things break here. And then tight ends are kind of a similar situation. Getting points out of a tight end is obviously always tough. But, I think that... at least 4 games. All right. God, we are... All right, that's just how we just got to make it to week 4. because Chubb is too good. I like, again, the points potential out of this running back group, you know, 2 starting and 1 flex, is really, really good. And there's still wide receivers on this board that I'm happy to take and keep filling out this, dart throw crew that I got going down here. I really hate these 3 guys with a week 12 bye though. Thomas, Shakir, and Shaheed all having week 12 buys, with Worthy and Hill both having week 6 buys. It's kind of a nightmare. And also the running backs also doing that. But again, I just need to make sure I'm scoring points every week through 1 through 12. And then once we do get to that final stage, weeks 15 through 17, I need all these guys to be active, which they will be as long as they're healthy. And I need all of these guys to just be competing for 40, 30, 25-point games if we want to make a run on this. I will say my roster is definitely unique. There is not going to be too many other people that have a mirror image of what I have. That doesn't mean it's good, but it means that I do get a shot at, I'm differentiating from the pack if I do make it out of this group of 12 to start it off. Tight ends are going again. I really don't like firing this role right now. Actually, Komet is a little sleeper tight end I like in this situation. This is who I would like to take next. Just got to make sure I don't take another week 12 bye. Okay. And then wide receiver core after that, it is going to be Sloppy Joes. Michael Wilson, I like the volume of Thielen, obviously. It's so funny when this happens where Leggett and Thielen are just getting drafted in the same ADP because they're eventually Leggett's probably going to pass Thielen for target share on this team, ? But you never know. You really do never know. Herbert goes. Plantar fasciitis himself is gone. They're taking my handcuff here. Jalen Wright was drafted by Mike Diggs. All right. And what is next? What do we got here? Two picks away. Another running back goes. More wide receivers are going. All right, yeah, man. I'm just going with another big play guy. Josh Downs obviously is more established on this team, but I need it. I need more of these big play wide receivers to get those high ceiling weeks. I basically have no one with a floor here. All these people are just dependent on making one of their 4 catches a game go really far. At least right now. I mean, I've got so many. I got three rookies and 2 guys that are expanding their role for the first time this year. So the wide receivers are definitely long on upside, a little bit short on experience. And again, I don't love this factor with all these buys stacking up right here. But you got to do what you got to do. We got to make the weeks when everyone's together count. That is for sure. Tight end. I do need a tight end too. I do like. As crazy as it sounds, I'm going Komet right now as my tight end too. I am doing it because I think that he is actually going to be much more active in this on this roster than people are expecting. He's going to be a bigger part of this passing game than people are expecting. He was really, a safety blanket for Justin Fields in the last couple of years, and I think that, they're going to have a role for him in this offense. I know there's all those 3 wide receivers, but sometimes you need to find that matchup of your tight end on a linebacker, and I think that the plays that Caleb Williams is going to be able to make are going to be finding a late-breaking Cole Kmet who, is blocking. Oh, no one's open downfield. I'm going to release and pick up 15 yards here and maybe get into the end zone. So tight ends, I might be done with tight end. I really might. I guess I worry a little bit about health and whatnot. I just need to keep on chugging away on these wide receivers. Keep on adding. because right now I've got 11, 13 players out of my 18 that I'm going to have on this underdog team. Overall, honestly, I really do like kind of being like, like there's a thing called zero RB if you're not a fantasy player. And it's kind of made the rounds. A lot of people are just wide receiver, wide receiver, wide receiver, especially in home leagues. But in this type of thing, I'd like the floor I'm getting here. Obviously, Chubb's going to be gone for a couple weeks to start the season. But when he's back, he's obviously really good. All of these guys are home run threats, every single one of them, which, again, is a little bit scary of a proposition. But I don't hate it. Now, look, we've got some handcuffs in the house. We're really getting a little bit, the running backs are getting a little bit tight. I actually wouldn't hate J.K. Dobbins here. I know he's always injured, but I just think that there's a lot of running volume that's going to be available for this Clippers or Chargers team. So I think J.K. would be great if he's still available when I'm up in several picks. Bucky Irvin, I also think Bucky is a really interesting player. He's obviously a big play threat on a team that I think is a little bit underrated in the Buccaneers. Who just went? JK just went. So that was fun while it lasted. And Algier goes. I wonder if this guy thinks that he's going to get meaningful snaps or if he thinks that he's going to be a handcuff. Those obviously are both valuable things. Khalil Herbert obviously is a pretty good, but there's not enough. I don't think there's enough touchdown equity for him to be that valuable unless an injury happens. All right. I know what I'm doing here. Again, I'm just a slave for upside in rookies, but Bucky Irving, again, I think he could have a role on this team. And I still need to get more. I need more quarterbacks. My quarterback 2. This is hilarious that Justin Fields is here. People think that he's going to be starting eventually. Good for them. I definitely do need to pick up my quarterback 2, though. Okay. This guy might be taking one of these QBs here, too. Of the guys available, geez. Yeah, I need one of these 2 guys. I need them. I would actually prefer Levis, so hopefully the guy in front of me who only has 1 QB on his roster takes Geno Smith, but we'll see what he does. He took 0. Wow, we're crazy. He is crazy. I'm taking Levis. I don't think Levis is very good. I think that he's going to have a well-designed offense with DeAndre Hopkins and Calvin Ridley, Chig Okonkwo out there at tight end. So I think there's some options. But again, yeah, this is the all-upside team, and that's what it's going to take to win a field of 22,200 and win $100K on this $1 million fantasy football draft. Best ball, as I said, is the way to go. And Bryce Young, that's hilarious. I drafted Bryce Young. I don't think he would ever even play for me. Likely with Dortch. I can keep an eye on Dortch, keep an eye on Johnson again. Oddly enough, Dortch, I think, has a little bit of a floor, which is crazy. Do they have an update on he's discharged from the hospital on Sunday? That's good. Ricky Pearsall was shot, if you didn't know. Happy to hear that he's already out of the hospital. He was doing some sort of event, I think, in central San Francisco and got shot by someone who tried to rob him. Look at this little run of tight ends. You got Jonnu, Isaiah Likely, Kate Otten. Who can I get? All right. There is a potential to go third tight end and get a little stack with Chig Okonkwo and Will Levis on the offhand chance there is a game where he goes off and it's through the tight end position. Again, I don't love this team at all. But again, you got to separate yourself from the pack. And I should say I don't love this team. At the end of the day, when it's this format, I just need big games out of 3 of these guys a week. and Tyreek Hill is going to score more than an average wide receiver one, so he can kind of pick up some of that slack there. That said, I'm not hating what I've got at wide receiver here. I would definitely. There goes my man, Greg Dortch. Can Quentin Johnson catch a football? To be determined. Ooh, we got this little stack option as well with Tyler Boyd down here. Jermaine Burton, Andre Iosivas. Kind of a good wide receiver handcuff type thing, if that makes sense to you. We don't have enough news on Pearsall, so that's why Johnson just went ahead of him. Definitely don't like Luke McCaffrey. ADP 192. It's a couple picks too early. All right, I gotta go with the freak athlete Andre Iosivas here again. Another guy. Wait, what week? No. Oh my God, another week 12 bye. Week 12 is gonna be hell. I need to draft another wide receiver. Oh my God. Why did I do that? This is so nasty. Oh, I should have just taken Tyler Boyd. What the hell? We got one. We're in round 17. All right. Who we got here, wide receiver wise? Oh, well, good news. I can still take Tyler Boyd and get this little bastardized stack going. All right, it's kind of not going to be anyone's favorite pick for a late round flyer with Tyler Boyd, but one, obviously we got the QB connection there, which is hopefully going to be helpful. And two is that a lot of these guys are young, so they're going to be developing late in the year. So I'm not necessarily drafting him now to be one of my 3 starting wide receivers early in the year. I'm drafting him, or I am drafting him actually to be probably a floor guy early in the year, in that slot role for the Titans. But I'm hoping by the time week 15, 16, 17, when we're in the final, actually comes into fruition and gets underway, that these young players are all in established roles and dominating. We are going to be in hell for wide receivers on week 12, though, we're going to be in hell in week 12 for wide receivers. With these buys. That said, I got 7. Got to roll with it. I got 1, 2, 3, 4 guys that are not week 12 buys. Please be healthy in week 12. 3 of you, please. That is what the difference is going to be, because I've only got 1 pick left in this draft. And I probably need to take just another running back, because obviously Chubb isn't going to be playing until week 4. Then we got a double bye here. So I'm really just stuck with Zamir White and Bucky Irvin if they're healthy. And Nick Chubb's hopefully back by then, but he might not be. Again, this is just like a massive upside play with him. You want him to be hitting on all cylinders by the time you make to the playoffs. But this is a unique spot. I was just a little rushed, and I took Iosivas when I definitely should not have as far as a wide receiver goes. Man, do I want another QB? No. Levis, Levis is the starter. He's going to be playing. 2 tight ends, 2 QBs is a little bit scary because, injury and then bye. You don't want to be forfeiting those points. But again, I need to just keep on keeping on with these wide receivers. And look at these tight ends still available. Everyone's got 2 tight ends. This dude went crazy with 4 QBs: Lawrence, Tua, Kirk, and what else did he do with the running backs? The heck? No, that wasn't the guy with all the QBs. 4 QBs, man. 4 QBs, 4 running backs, 7 wide receivers, 2 tight ends. Interesting lineup for that guy. My last pick. I'm going to have to just be banking on wide receiver injury health and running back injury health. I have to choose one or the other. I can't have both. And for that reason, I'm taking a... Who can be this guy? All right, we're going with Josh Reynolds. Ugh. I just needed it. I needed the more wide receivers. That concludes my $1 million fantasy football best ball draft on Underdog Fantasy. Again, if you don't know the rules, it is based on how well you do. It's based on how well you do, or how well each guy does each week. And your top quarterback is the only one that counts to your score. Top 2 running backs, only 2 that score or count towards your score. Top 3 wide receivers, 1 tight end, and you have 1 flex. So there is a lot of upside in this wide receiver room. Not a lot of proven commodities outside of Tyreek Hill, and some real buy issues. I got 4 of my 8 wide receivers going to be bye week 12. But that is the end of this draft. Let's hope we make lots of money here. All right, thank you for watching, and have a great day. Let's make some money. If you're signing up for Underdog and you want to play best ball, use promo code DAILYDOG, DAILYDOG.